Kashmir as well.
Yes, so that rehabilitation point, Aarti, that you raised, particularly in the backdrop of the targeted killings, what should the government do to ensure that Kashmiri Pandits have faith? I'm going to take that question to Amit, Raina, but before that, Majid Hyderi. The Jammu region has been enjoying movie theatres for decades, even with Kashmiri parties running the government for decades. Why was Kashmir denied these cinemas for so many years?
Well, Marya Saiba, firstly, ideological differences apart, Vijay Saab's contribution towards Kashmir has been immense, priceless, matchless, I would say. But then we have to look at this cinema reopening through the perspective that we don't have elected government in place, we don't have statehood in place, and we don't have the return of Kashmiri Pandits in place. So when you talk of entertainment at this moment, I think it's like entertainment at gunpoint. Entertainment at gunpoint reminds me of Sholay, where we had that famous dialogue, "Jab tak tere paun chalenge, iski saansein chalengi." So at the moment, we Kashmiris have been pushed to that Basanti moment, where we have entertainment at gunpoint, just to glamorize and for the perception management that everything is hunky-dory in Kashmir, whereas the reality is, Honorable Home Minister himself said that statehood will be restored only when you have normalcy in place. So you don't have normalcy in place. That is what we need to believe. And once we don't have normalcy in place, what is the fun of reopening cinema? Or to just glamorize things for a kind of a perception management that everything is hunky-dory. I don't find any sense in the reopening of cinemas unless you have democratic rights in place, you have elected government.
Amit, Raina will respond to this. Amit, how are you looking at this argument?
No, see, Kashmir may have lost its cinema halls. The Kashmiris never lost their love for movies. And I've seen hundreds of Kashmiri Muslim families, whenever they come to Jammu, Delhi, Mumbai, they go to cinema hall with their families and enjoy the movies. I have seen many Hurriyat leaders, including relatives of Majid Hyderi, who come to Delhi, Jammu and enjoy movies. So linking entertainment with political issues are two different things. If Majid Hyderi is so concerned about cinema halls being constructed and other things not being done, I would request him to ask his masjid committees also to stop constructing masjids and focus on something else which he wants to do. So let's not club things unnecessarily, because he knows he would have used the Islamic route today, saying that Islam doesn't allow all this. But he knows with Saudi having cinema halls, Iran having cinema halls, he can't use that route. So he has chosen. I don't know what connection Sholay had. I don't think Majid Hyderi was shown a gun and asked him to go and see a movie. Vijay is nice because he runs a school, and probably Majid will need his influence to get someone admitted. He runs the most influential school in this. So let me complete. Let me come. Yes, you made that argument. Basanti and all that. I did not make that. So I don't remember anyone forcing a gun to you and going to see a movie. Now, coming back to the Pandit issue, the Kashmiri Pandit issue, one needs to understand that it will never be resolved, and the normalcy in Kashmir will be declared only the day Kashmiri Pandits go back to home. And you cannot have Kashmiri Pandits going back home unless and until you do not acknowledge what has happened to them. The state has the responsibility, the civil society of Jammu and Kashmir has the responsibility, the Kashmir has the responsibility. And unless and until you do not acknowledge the genocide that has happened, unless and until you do not investigate and try to address the concerns that led to the exodus of a community, you are not going to solve that problem. So great, you have opened cinema halls. I myself remember Kashmir had almost, Srinagar alone had more than 10 cinema halls.
Once upon a time.
You had cinema halls. Yes, so you had cinema halls across all district centers, and people used to throng. The Friday shows, especially the English movie shows, you had queues in kilometers.
You can't have Kashmiri Pandits. Yes, you are.
आप सीडी देख सकते हो, तब कोई तकलीफ नहीं है. आप पाकिस्तानी ड्रामा देख सकते हो, कोई तकलीफ नहीं है. But if we open a cinema hall, that is a problem. God help with such thought process. You don't like to see movies, don't go. That's all.
Okay, Mushtaq Kak.